So, we're still talking $80 video games or your local equivalent. Recently, Doug Bowser, president of Nintendo of America, he did an interview where he stated that not all of their games would cost $80, and Mario Kart World is going to be a special instance of the top of the line. That's top of the line quality for Nintendo, and games that I guess are top of the line quality. Maybe we can expect those to be $80. So I just kind of wanted to get you on the record, Loon, because we haven't really talked about, the pricing of games with the reveal of the first ever standard edition of a video game hitting $80 with Mario Kart World. I talked about it in a video where I kind of more so my whole thing was talking about Grand Theft Auto 6 and my thought process behind the likelihood of that jumping up to 100 based on Mario Kart World being 80. But I kind of want to get you on the record and just hear your thoughts on um the first ever, you know, new price point for a standard edition video game. I shouldn't say first ever, but the first ever since like the N64 days.
Yeah, it's a joke. it's it's an absolute joke in my opinion. I can understand where some people are coming from. You know, it's a big step for Nintendo because this does look like a big project for them. The thing that always annoys me is that it's always one exception for another. Because what I'm gonna say here, people are probably they'll either agree or you'll disagree. It just looks like an arcadey version of Forza Horizon. Is that new Mario Kart? But you know, they didn't then turn around and go, "Oh, we're making an open world Forza Horizon game. We're going to bump that up." Like, why are Nintendo doing that? What? Because they've caught up with the rest of the industry. And no, I'm being like deadly
Yeah.
serious. Like, you're catching up because I know they play many years behind everyone else. So they're looking at like, oh wow, we have to put in this much effort to make a game. Yeah, that $80, please, and it's like a 90 for the physical, right?
No. So it's gonna be the same price digitally and physically. I don't really know where that came from because
Okay,
I remember when we were
yeah,
recording, that information popped up and then it was just like not true, or at
okay.
least not true in the US. I maybe it's true elsewhere. I really don't know.
Okay. I think it was leaked by one of the storefronts that branded it as that, so people ran with it,
Mm,
but it could have just been a typo.
makes sense.
Um, but even then, like $80 for that, like I just no, I don't see that it being a win for gamers because it was at the beginning of or towards the end, right, of the generation where they bumped it up 60 to 70 for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's a
NBA
fairly recent
2K21.
thing, and then you're talking they're going to bump it up again, and because this is the thing, they're bumping that up. Like the perfect example is now Rockstar look over and like, well, we make a product 10 times more expensive than that, so we're going to
Well,
move the needle 10, and then everyone else will look around and go, oh well, this is our most ambitious product, so we'll move the needle. Like when does it end? Like
right.
a game's going to just keep like ballooning to try and
Well,
meet with ballooning budgets, like because that's not sustainable. Like that's not a thing that anybody should be championing.
exactly. I agree. And you got to think it was like 2005, I believe, whenever games went from 50 to 60. So now we're talking about 2020 when games went from 60 to 70. I was pretty much okay with that. It's like, that seems reasonable. That's a long time. Sure, I don't think most games are worth 70 fucking dollars if I'm being honest, but it is what it is. That's a long enough time for that $60 price to remain the price. And then now we have a new price, which is 70. But going from 70 in 2020 to 80 in 2025, so we had to wait. We waited 15 years to go from 60 to 70. Now in 5 years, 70, 80. Like
And
that's
then it would be less than a
crazy.
year from 80 to 90 for GTA if they apply the pressure. And this, and yeah, it's like
Yeah,
when does it end?
I agree.
And what I will say is when did it should end now. Like people should be universally saying no. And what I saw today, and I don't know whether or not it's like 100% accurate, but they kind of gave the same response that Xbox One gave when they were being
Yup.
flamed for the stuff and being like, "Well, we got the Switch One for you guys," and it's like, and I'm sitting here like remembering how big Xbox got clowned for saying that phrase. Because it is, and I fully agreed with the people at the time. It's stupid. That is one of the most stupid mentalities ever. You have a brand new product and you're turning around and go, well, if you don't like how much we're squeezing you for, stay with the current product that you have.
Yep.
That's just hubris.
Yep.
That is unbelievable levels of arrogance. Um, and I saw people defending it. It's just like, no, that's come on, man.
Yeah. And so I really wanted to hit you today because I've just been thinking about this a lot and kind of thinking about my own hypocrisy in a way where I'm bitching about Mario Kart World being $80 and I was like, yeah, Mario Kart World is not even close to worth $80 for me. But that doesn't mean all games aren't worth $80 to me. And so listen, here's the thing. Before we, yeah, let's actually, before we even get there, I do want to say out the fucking gate that your video game, your movie, your book, your television show is irrelevant. Like, totally fucking irrelevant. Normal people are struggling so damn much just to get by. Like, if you think that, here's the thing, this is supposed to be an escapist hobby,
Hmm.
a piece of entertainment that we consume that takes us away from the worries of the world for just a moment of time. And if you think that upping the price of your games is in any way, shape, or form intelligent in the year 2025, whenever all of our other rents going up, food prices are going up, everything else is going up that we have to survive. Your shit is irrelevant. Your entertainment product is totally, utterly irrelevant in the grand scheme of just getting by in life. And it will be the, mark my fucking words, it will be the first thing cut. I'm, you and I are the biggest damn gamers you can get. It will be the, if I get to a point where I can't pay my damn mortgage payment or can't pay my whatever payment, the first thing that's getting cut is entertainment products
Yeah.
like
It's what I had to do
subscription
earlier
services,
this year. It was
games.
one of the big reasons why I skipped KCD too. It's things get at certain times in life, things get a little bit expensive. If one thing goes wrong and you have to throw money at it, you don't, and that's the thing. So I'm privileged to be in the spot that I am, where I am able to get as many titles as I am. But there's so many people that are genuinely struggling. I have friends who rarely buy titles anymore. Their lifeline is Game Pass. And I
Yep.
know people love to clown people, pointing fingers and, always putting people down, because everyone comes from different walks of life and it makes people feel good. Being like, oh, well, you're poor and stuff like that. Oh, you broke. It's like, look, man, they're just trying to enjoy the same hobby you are.
Exactly.
So, like, don't tear them down for that. And, like, why are you, it comes back full circle. Why are you parroting and trumpeting a price increase? How is that ever good for you?
Right.
What you envisioning, even in like the purest term, that money is not going to go back to making that product better. That's just going to line the pockets of the company, because they
Yeah.
already are able to make the product at that budget. So
Right.
getting an extra 10 off of it is just, yeah, it's just the thing
And
of the modern day chasing growth. That is it. Chasing growth.
it's not to say like there's not, I'm never going to look at someone who goes out and buys Mario Kart World as lesser than or like as stupid or you shouldn't do that or do whatever the fuck you want to do with your
Yeah.
money. That is not my prerogative whatsoever. But with what you just said is that you'll have people out there that are like trying to say, uh, almost trying to be on the company side where it's like, bro, let's all be on each other's side. Let's try. And you can do whatever the fuck you want, say whatever you want. I don't care. But from my perspective, it's like the they are not my friends. I don't care if they make more money. I care about what we get as consumers, and I want to be given a fair price for the product that I'm receiving. And I I can look at shit rationally, where I say, okay, well, 2005 is when we got The $60 price increase, we waited until 2020 to go from 60 to 70. That seems reasonable to me. But even then, Loon, what fucking video game have you played recently where you're like, yeah, that's a $70 banger worth my value? Like we talked about it a second ago, but I don't necessarily feel all that bad whenever a Callisto Protocol is launching at $70 and not doing well. I don't necessarily feel all that bad when Immortals of Aveum is launching at $70 and not doing all that well. I don't remember if that launched at 70, but you know what I'm saying? Like you
No, I think it
got
was a
to
70
be
launch. Well, the thing is like you used to be able to when it was 60 and stuff, and there wasn't a talk of a price increase, and it didn't feel like you were being nickel and dime because it was just a thing of just I can't remember a time when they were 50. It was always 60 for me in the hobby and stuff. And that just felt like okay, 60 is what you get for a complete full budget experience. And 9 times out of 10 when you did purchase that, that's the way it did feel when you were purchasing that. When you're purchasing GTA 5 on 360 and stuff for full price, it was like, yeah, that feels like a full product. Purchasing The Witcher 2 and stuff like that, Skyrim and stuff, like you were getting a full product worth your money. And it doesn't feel like that has risen at the same rate. It feels like the prices are going up, but you're getting less effort in many regards of stuff. There's less ambition. Like I yeah, like I said, I don't think for me personally, I'm never gonna trumpet a price increase because it doesn't need to
yeah,
happen.
totally. Yeah. But I will say, and I will reiterate what I said is like, I do understand if you're a huge Mario Kart fan, like you want to
Yeah,
play
no,
fucking Mario Kart.
yeah,
There's nothing, dude, I've bought $100
yeah.
editions of games and
So
shit.
have
Like
I. I understand. That's what
yeah,
I mean. You look behind us. We both have things. There are things. There are titles where they will.
but I'm not praising it.
I'm not praising it. No, exactly.
Yeah.
It annoys me that I had to get that. The where is it? Baldur's Gate 3. That's the only way to get the physical for
Right.
Xbox.
Exactly. Same.
That I love Larian. They're incredible. They're amazing developers. The game is amazing. The game is worth 70, but you didn't charge me 70. You charged me like 100 for the physical to be shipped here. And I'm not happy with the price, but I happily paid it. There's a
Yep.
difference.
Yep.
I'm not happy that I'm having to pay a premium on that, but I'm happy to get the product. It's that
Yeah.
weird thing of, and it's with like you said, there will be people out there that will just go out and buy the Mario Kart thing, and I don't blame them. They're fans. To
No.
them, this is golden. Seeing a Mario Kart be set in a Forza Horizon game, that is
Yeah.
amazing. But to everybody else, it's the thing of where unfortunately, those that are going to go out and buy it will feel that and therefore give them the excuse to do that. But it's the same with people who pre-order games and stuff like that. There's always a certain angle that you can look at where it's like you are making the industry worse, but it's an industry that's fed off of your love for it.
Yeah.
Unlike films and
Exactly.
stuff. Like because but that's I'm not a film buff, so maybe they also fall into that where they have to go to the cinema. But it's like me with like I really love Predator and Aliens as a franchise. I don't ever go out and watch the movies. Like day
Yeah.
one, I wait for the physical to be printed. I wait for it to drop in price because I'm not going to pay like 25 pound to go watch
Yeah.
a Blu-ray. Like I'm in no rush. So I
Right.
yeah.
And that's the thing is like that tying back to the hypocrisy, where there is going to be a level of hypocrisy in all of this because it's just what matters to you.
Yep.
But it's like I don't understand the praising of like let's not root for prices to go up. Let's not root for the companies over ourselves. That's crazy.
No.
Um, so I want to play a game with you. Rapid fire run through these. I want to hear, because once again, back to us being hypocrites, I want to put on display how hypocritical are we possibly.
Okay.
I got a list of games I'm going to run down, and I'm going to ask you, would you pay $80 for these games? And I'll answer as well. That way you're not the only hypocrite in the room. Um, the next Larian game, since we just talked about them, would you pay 80 for the next Larian
See,
game?
this is the thing though, because mine prefaces with am I having to buy that directly off them to get like with the Baldur's Gate 3
Nope.
thing? Like It's just
Digital.
marketly available. Digital?
Digital.
No,
Yep.
absolutely not. No. You're
Okay.
out of your
What if
fucking
it fit
mind. Dude, I
physical
sat
and
on my
digital?
hands when Alan Wake 2 got launched. I was so ready to get that. And I
Same.
sat for a year and I was like, no, I'm going to be stubborn. Screw you. I have morals,
Say
man.
physical and digital available, both are $80. Day one, you can buy either. Would you buy the physical for 80? Baldur's Gate 4, they come back for another one.
Begrudgingly
N-
so, probably.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't for I'm not the biggest, Larian guy, but I got some on here that you're going to be surprised with. Would you pay $80 for Mafia the Old Country?
No,
I think that's one I'd drop an 80 for. And it would
not
that
for
would sting
80.
because that's not a game that's worth $80 and I know that, but that's like such my shit that once again, just the hypocrisy. A new Metro game. Would you drop 80? I picked this one specifically for you.
Um, you're going to probably be surprised in this. It would be one of the few titles where I would want a demo available because
Oh,
they've been getting bigger and bigger, and there are points in Exodus where it's a little bit shaky. I wouldn't be confident in giving them full price if the game is also going to get bigger and then it tanks in the performance. So I'd probably demo it and then if it runs fine, yeah, I'd give them 80.
right. It's funny you say that. For me, probably not. I still got a lot of catching up to do with Metro, but it's funny you even say that. The Witcher 4. That was the next one I had on there. I feel like that perfectly can tie in. CDPR does not know how to launch a damn game. So would that be another one you'd want to wait for a demo on, or is that like, fuck it, I don't care, I'm there?
For The Witcher, I think I'm there.
Yeah,
I think if I
I
move
think
my
I'm.
head, it could probably give away. Yep, there you go. That ain't cheap.
And I'm in the same boat as you, but I would like to at least see gameplay to know that it's not a cyberpunk situation. I don't think they'll ever do that again, but I need some evidence.
It's always going to run wobbly though. Because I think I've brought up before of like The Witcher 3 wasn't a good launch either, but people don't know that because they weren't there,
But there's a
ironically.
difference between not a good launch and totally broken.
No, 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 yeah. But
Yeah.
that's the thing of that. I give them the benefit of the doubt with Cyberpunk a little bit because it's a whole new thing. They'd never made a first person game before. They'd never done shooting before. Like, there's so many things they had to build from the ground up. I don't think they realized just how much of an undertaking that would be.
Yeah. A new BioShock game.
No,
I
no,
wouldn't either.
I'm not actually all that like. I like Bioshock. I'm not really all that bothered if I never play one again.
A new Resident Evil game. Let's say Resident Evil 9, the next mainline one. I so listen, here's the thing. I would buy this. It's my favorite franchise of all time, but that is not a franchise that's worth $80. Like, I'm sorry. They've never made a game that's worth 70.
Damn.
I love it's my favorite franchise ever. They have not made a $70 game. And if they jump to 80, that's crazy to me.
I don't know. It'd have to be a time and place thing. That'd be a maybe.
Dragon Age 5.
Yeah,
You would. That's going to be a no for me, but here we go. Mass Effect 5. That's an absolutely yes for me. Are you day
unfortunately.
one? Yeah.
Again, it's it, but this is it ties back. I'm not doing it like with a grin on my face, like happily
Right.
giving them like it's begrudgingly. It's just like you're twisting my arm.
Exactly. This is one I'm curious about. Well, I guess this is more so for me, but Intergalactic, Naughty Dog's new game. I guess obviously that's probably not going to be for you, but this is one where I would pay $80 for this, but I think that if this game launches at $80, that is suicide. It's a brand new IP that is already facing a real uphill battle in terms of
Yeah,
marketing. And like, I don't think it would be smart to launch that game at $80, even though in terms of budget, like that and Grand Theft Auto 6 are probably the only two games in development right now where you could say, yeah, they're probably worth $80 in terms of how much money is going into it, how much time is going into it, the quality that we're probably going to get. But at the same time, like, you are not going to be able to sell that for $80. Like, I just do not think you're going to be able to shift millions of copies at 80 bucks.
I don't think it's going to be a good game. I
You don't think
think
it's going to be a good
I
game?
don't think until no. I don't think that they're gonna. I think it's gonna be a very wobbly thing. Um, I think they're gonna struggle
With what?
with just getting people in the door, with it being like an actual good experience. I
Well,
don't know.
I
I struggle
I
to.
agree with your first point. I totally agree with.
Yeah,
Getting people in the door is going to be a hard thing. But I think it's going to be an excellent video. I don't think they've made anything less than like a 9.3 since
but we all
Uncharted
stumble.
2.
This is the
Yeah.
thing. It's that thing of the Last of Us Two is very divisive, very split down the middle. And when you take out that story, a lot of people are also getting very long-winded with how long their games are. So
Yeah, they got to chop that.
if it's tied to characters they don't care about and it's a long-winded story, I mean, it doesn't matter how fun the gameplay is. If you're
Yeah,
stretching that out to 25, 30 hours of that,
totally. Well, let's stick right there with Naughty Dog, The Last of Us 3. Once again, I'm a Naughty Dog shill. I'd definitely buy it for 80, but
I think I'm done with
I
the series.
I feel
um,
that
I don't, they're just misery simulators. I don't find
I
them particularly enjoyable.
I think you are going to run into the same exact problem though, where people are like are just uninterested at this point. And I don't think people are uninterested in The Last of Us, but I don't think people are just going to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready to go." Like you said, they are kind of misery simulators.
I think, to be fair though, I think it's done them wonders making that TV show because they have a brand new player base of potentially new gamers who are none the wiser as to what pricing points are. So if you could fool
Totally.
an entire new player base into being like, here's 80 for The Last of Us Part 3, they'd probably be, oh yeah, cool.
Grand Theft Auto 6.
I don't think I'm buying it day one. I think I've said that before, right?
I don't know. That's the first I remember hearing that. That's wild.
I'm not like in a rush to play it. Um, I don't yearn for crime sandboxes like that. I've gone through my my gaming wave kind of thing of like crime sandboxes and multiplayer and then ooh JRPGs and then ooh strategy RPGs and stuff like that. Like I don't know, I'm happy with because I've slowed down on trying out a ton of like different experiences. I've kind of just found my niche at the moment, going around in like JRPG land, strategy RPGs and stuff like that. I'm not really, I don't know. I'm happy.
Boy, I am yearning. I am yearning to drive a damn car in an open world, get out of the car, shoot someone, get into a helicopter, get into a like I am yearning for that experience back in my life so much. See, this is the one game where you could probably say just you could fucking throw a number out there and be like, I'll pay it. It is. I cannot fucking wait for this video game. Um, Borderlands 4,
No.
no chance.
Oh, no, I'll keep it friendly.
Were you gonna say you don't think you'd pay like 50, half that?
I didn't buy. I actively went out of my way to buy Borderlands 3 secondhand because I didn't want to give him money. That's how much I despise him as a human being.
What about Assassin's Creed? I know that's a tough one for you. That's like an all-time classic series for you.
See, it's funny that you say because it is like it's a series I'd get day one. Something that doesn't get like Ubisoft doesn't get credit for is their physicals are cheaper than the digital, but no one knows it.
Really?
Did you not realize that? When I purchased,
Mine was 70.
mine wasn't. Mine was 50. Shadows was
Really?
50. Yeah,
Where'd you get it?
Amazon. So was
Damn.
Outlaws. Outlaws was I got the Ultimate Edition, so all the DLC, and that was for base price day one. They've been doing
Wow.
that every. They did it with Valhalla. They did it with Mirage. Mirage was cheaper. They
I'm gonna have to start shopping on Amazon.
they I don't know if it is Amazon US as well, but Amazon UK is what, like, it makes me laugh when people flay them. It's like, dude, got like the receipt to prove it if you want. Picked up Shadows for 50 day one. It was here on day of release, and I was playing it.
W- Would you pay 80 though?
For base, no, probably not.
Okay.
But
Yeah, no
the
chance.
thing that is heartwarming about that is I don't think they would charge that with the way that they
Right.
handle physicals. So
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't do 80 for Assassin's Creed either, but I just wanted to do like a little run through there, quick rapid fire run through of kind of just trying to expose our hypocrisy. At what level could we possibly expose our own hypocrisy? Because I do think that like people trying to rain on someone's parade of someone being excited for Mario Kart World, that's shitty as well. Where I don't like that either. So I just want to throw out there like, yeah, I'm a fucking hypocrite too.
mhm.
Like it's not just because there's no world where I'll pay $80 for a Mario Kart game. There's a lot of other worlds where I'll pay $80 for a different game. So, hey man, if you're hyped for Mario Kart, be hyped for Mario Kart. And but let's stop rooting for the corporations. Those are the bad guys. Let's root for us. Let's root for consumer friendly prices. Um, but yeah, I just thought that'd be a fun little game to cap off the video with.
That's good.
Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed the content. If you did, like, subscribe, all of that shit. I think that's about it. Share it with a buddy. We appreciate you. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.
See you later.